Cha-cha. That's the old horsemanship position. And every horse sees it and they go, the horsemanship position. And you swap positions and you go. And then because that's still in him, isn't it, an old past of that, and he still sees me coming, I stood like this and went like that, and he went, the old horsemanship position. That's how long the horsemanship position lasts in some horses. It's just the way I walked up with that flag in a certain way, it put a memory in him.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Education is getting them to understand and be confident and search for answers that are available that they didn't know once was there. So I can't teach him to look away. So I'm fixing another red flag anyway. Oh, well, since you're having fun, you may as well put him in a gallop.
Not quite at the galloping stage.
Okay, in Liberty especially, it's very easy to hold our horses up with the pressure.
Yeah.
So they're actually getting held up by the drive, and then they fall in on the draw. Okay? And that's not what we want. There, good girl. That was a little distraction, but I'm just going to say thanks for the distraction, because it took a fair while to get her to let go, didn't it? Okay, and that's the interesting thing. She's got all these powers. It's like that Frozen movie. Let it go.
We won't sing it.
That's the other song that's going on the album. You didn't know that, my album that I'm building. And the song for this one is Let It Go. There you go. Good girl, yeah? She let that one go a little quicker when she saw that little horse over there walking along. And I want to show her that she can trust me if she's looking away, and trust me if she's looking to me. I don't want her looking at me and keeping her suspicion on me, because we might push her away from pressure. Good girl. Thank you. Because I think what happened before was when she let go, she took off, and we didn't have any control over it.
Just did that with your hand and she jumped.
Yeah.
She's very sensitive and worried.
See that ear's starting to loosen up now. When I put a little feel on her there, that ear's loosening up, that inside ear. And that's kind of what we want. See, she's starting to let go of me, in a sense that she's starting to pay attention to what's happening out there instead of just hold on me like that. And that's what we're trying to get her to do, is be a normal horse and do Liberty. Don't be an anxious horse that's holding a brace. Hey. Hey. Her eye's getting softer though, because she's let go of a couple of thoughts. Good girl. Baby come back. And that's the other song. Baby come back.
Are you singing them or having them recorded?
No, I'm going to put them in an album. It's going to be the Equine Ability Horse Song album.
Actually, Julian,
Let it go, baby, come back.
They think, oh, it's him. That man.
I'm not going to sing them. That'd be terrible. And it's the other one is it's all about that brace, about that brace, about that brace. That's the other one.
Can we go out there?
Does she pull back?
She does when you tie her up. She's had some bad experiences with the bridle lately.
Mhm.
And we go up to tie her and then we bring the bridle from her sister out. It's getting better all the time.
And you're lucky you come here, because pulling back is one of my biggest red flags. It's something I really like to fix. Pulling back could be rearing up over backwards when you hang onto the reins too tight. Something like that, could be anything like that, yeah? So pulling back, I've had a horse at a clinic recently, had a broken wither from pulling over backwards. Don't worry, it's never that bad until something really goes wrong. Do you hard tie her?
Oh, I tie up today.
Right. If one day if you hard tied or someone else did, she might flip over.
Pulled out a fence post to try and fix that.
Okay. Good. So what we want to teach her now is the next question. That question. See how she walked herself into pressure? Before I was letting her back up. Now I've put a stop there, haven't I? Good girl. Okay, so that's the next question. When you've chosen to back away from something that worries you, can you come forward? Okay. Good girl. That was pretty good. I'll put that there now. Change the feel on that rope. And we'll just go, hey. Yeah. So basically, a rein is a hand that says, I'll help you. Alright? No matter what pressures are going on, the rein is a pathway to a better feeling. Alright? And that's what we're teaching our horses. The rein is a pathway to a better feeling, and the horse will always feel better when it follows the rein. It always puts them back in balance. Yeah? And then she won't pull away so much when she feels that pressure on her head. If she was chronic, she'd be a lot different. She's not as chronic, it's just that the Ballantyne's causing a bad habit that could cause her to hurt herself one day. Because she's thinking that's a trap on her head, not a pathway to a better feeling, and she's trying to run away from it. Alright, so we sort of get that sorted out a little until get a little better. But you can see she kind of came, she's a pretty cluey little horse, and she started to realise, well, I can be hung up there like that, it doesn't matter. But she wasn't stressed about being hung up there, was she? She kind of just knew that's where the pathway led her to. Because it is a pathway. So everything you do with her, so the little times that you want to back her up and do that, okay, if you finish it on a brace, where you've wiggled that rope and she's finished on a brace, well, you just taught her that that rope means brace. Okay, so I would never teach her to brace. I would teach her the only thing I want her to know is soften and loosen through that rein, and that's the only thing that you know. Whatever way that rein goes, your thoughts go. Yeah? Capiche? Good work. And that's kind of like a rope. Okay. Now, you could lean back, for instance. I could have you here and I could say do that, and you can lean on me. So you lean on me. I could put the stick back here and go, hey. But did you move off this, or did you move towards that? Exactly. So what I would do is I'd go like this, and you'd lean, and I'd say, hey, hey.
You're hitting yourself. Yep.
And you'd go,
Yep.
But there's a horse that shuts down in pressure, and a horse that pushes pressure is generally going to come forward. A horse that leans on pressure is not going to come forward. So the horse that leans on That's nearly better. Good girl. And see, a lot of times we teach these youngsters lateral flexion and then we move their hindquarter with energy. But that never ever teaches a horse to really take the brace out of its body through the reins, because one just means bend their head and this means move your hip. But if you actually take that away and hold that rein and they start to get a bit wobbly, they fight to get their head back and keep their hip stuck on the ground. So then you got to go get to moving their hip with your leg. But if you can pick up an indirect rein and pick that hind foot up and put it under the ribs like that, then you're teaching your horse to be balanced. And when a horse is truly balanced, you don't have to worry about where you tie it. You don't have to worry about it on horse floats, because every time that horse shifts, it's got the tools to rebalance. So if I was sort of had your arm like this, what I see is lateral flexion is a bit like this. Keep your body still and rigid and have a floppy arm.
Oh, a floppy arm.
Yeah.
So,
Now, but at least you're a little bit balanced because your shoulders are connected to your arm. But some people, now stop your shoulders, now floppy arm. That's lateral flexion.
Oh, okay.
You got to brace through your whole body, your feet are stuck to the ground, and there's nothing. And then what happens is the horse gets out of balance, and then they've got to rebalance because they're so far out of balance that when they rebalance, it's a big crash. Okay?
So I've just got to work on getting him.
Yeah. So what I'm trying to sort of say is to get him really confident in the reins, he has to be able to rebalance softly with any part of his body in any direction at any time without rushing. Yeah? And at the moment, when I put a backward feel on him, there's like a stick to the ground and then he releases and goes back. When I put a bend on him and I squeeze that bend, he's stuck to the ground and he's kind of stuck and he won't move his feet. Okay, and I could move his feet, but we know that moving his feet hasn't helped because we would have done it by now, yeah? Do you understand?
Yeah.
Nose like that, just have it to the side a little and yeah. And I think because he's got that sort of stoic looking personality, then this suppling exercise will be good, yeah?
Okay.
Get him ready. And there'll be lightness in his front end, and that's when you'll start to do it, yeah? Where you can just step him across a little in control, not just... There's a little better. Try again, float another one. Take a little more feel on the inside rein. Take it around. There. Now walk him straight. So I never taught a lot of desensitizing at clinics because everyone would say, why didn't we do desensitizing? I said, well, look at your horse at the end of the clinic. Is it quieter? Yeah. Because your horse becomes more confident and then it can deal with situations because it's a natural horse that thinks about things. Yeah? And that's safety. Each feel by asking a different question, you know. So and I'm only saying it because it's out there a lot. Like every man and his dog's reinvented the same thing over and over, and what I see is the same thing over and over is ask, horse didn't listen. Yeah, horse didn't listen, or did it not understand? Didn't understand, that's right. So if I asked and then the horse didn't listen to that and I did this and then I did that, I'm only blaming the horse for nothing. I should be doing, as I said last night, I should be doing this. Ask, teach your horse to lead. You understand? Don't blame your horse for not leading out over there, teach it. Because this is nowhere near this. This question here has got nothing to do with this question here. This is move away from pressure. This is move towards your thoughts. Do you understand?
Yep.
And they are completely different questions. So this is not adding more pressure. This is asking a different question. Hey, you think to the rein. Good. Good. Yeah? There. You see how she kind of starts to bend with that feel and follow it?
Yes.
So if you're walking here and you want to realign her, say if you wanted her to walk at your hip with her head just here, well that's where you put the rope. If you wanted to walk here, that's where you put the rope. Okay, don't have the rope here and wonder why she's not over there. Yeah?
Okay. Yep.
When you're coming into here, okay, and you feel that you wanted her to strengthen her turn a little so you can walk over there, well you can slide up there and push a little like that on there. Push a little there like that so she knows that she's following that. Okay? So eventually, when you're working from here, hey, you could maybe turn her out over there, but you know the feel that I offered on you?
Yes.
I went, hey, yeah?
Yep.
You see how she kind of melded into that spot? Because I put the feel that was required for her to have something clear to follow. Unclear means no clarity, she gets lost.
Yep.
You know the pushiness on the shoulders?
Yes.
Where she goes around you?
Yep.
Well, I'd say the same about that. She's not pushy in the shoulders, it's just unclear where you're wanting her to go. Do you understand?
Yep.
It's just a little unclear. So if I wanted her to go around me, I'd pick up a feel on her and I'd teach her to follow that feel around me. So I would teach her, that's a little better.